okay. You'll have to get his picture.
Yeah.
Some other way.
Yeah, that's fine. So we were talking about the.
So the business of podcasts, the business of pinball, being at the highest it's been in the last 20 years, and basically I just said I think we're at the cusp of a bunch of people making wrong decisions again, and then you were ready to talk.
Yeah, because I think that the pinball at this moment is now at such a hype that I don't know where this will be in like 2 years because, I think people are now getting into it so much. That is just in 2 years, and when stuff happens in the world, well, pinballs will get flooded on the market again, and it will be, I think it will be destroying the market and all.
That's the doing it wrong thing. That's the part that I'm one of those new people, admittedly, but I come with honest intentions with your daughter, sir. So it's like, honestly, I love what pinball represents when it comes to this like hardcore group of people who have kept it alive forever, right?
Yeah.
If you disrespect that, you mess with it all over again, and it just makes no sense to me. And how can you make those two things fit? Because you cannot get bigger. You can't. This cannot grow without pissing a couple people off.
True, and I think you should piss people off. I piss people off all the time. No, it's true because I have a very big pinball collection. I'm willing to share it with everybody, but I also flip games to get my games for cheaper.
Sure.
And I think everybody does it, but not a lot of people acknowledge it in this.
So it's shunned upon.
I think so. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, I want this game so much, and then 2 days later, it's on a Dutch sales site for 500 more. And so I'm like, yeah, you were really a collector, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just a collector, but if I can flip it, if I can sell my whole thing today and trade it for something else, I'll do it. Even though I love pinball,
Well, I think most people, and this is the weird thing, and that's kind of the harmonization I'm talking about that's difficult to get into perspective, is everybody that is a collector is also a flipper. I don't know anybody who hasn't sold their machines. If you've been in the pinball collection, whatever you want to call it, hobby for the last 20 years, and you only have 5 machines in your basement, that's been traded out like 6 times.
Yes.
And that's funded every restoration job that you've ever had done. What we're worried about and what we're talking about are the people who are coming in and like snagging the money with no love for the thing. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. We just had to get started. So can you put on the shades?
Yeah, sure.
We got the photographer coming in to take a picture. There you go. No, you got to keep the serious face. Come on, man. There you go. Perfect. All right, that's gotta be enough. Thank you.
All right.
Kill the lights. I was doing video here, but it's way too bright for me.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, but I'm sensing some conversations that have been had that I'm not part of or privy to, but I certainly can imagine the discussions that are going on around it as soon as too many people get into it. It's always the same. Yeah, it's a supply and demand thing, right?
Yes.
And if there's an oversupply, people can be nice to each other, but as soon as there's an undersupply of stuff, that's when shit starts getting cutthroat.
Yeah, that's true in some ways because most of it, I am a pinball collector that does a lot of niche products, so a lot of games or prototypes or games that really didn't get made a lot by companies that went under when building 20 or 40 games or whatever. So most of my collection is about those games. But I think if you look at the main issue now is that it's FOMO, it's the fear of missing out. And if you look at the bigger companies, they are not making like a run of 1,000 games. Now they push out like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 of those games. But the problem will be that you will get the same problems what Williams had in 1998. The market got down and all those machines got flooded. There's so many of them made.
Yeah.
I think that if the pinball companies now would only make, let's say, we only do a run of 1,000, and I know they're hoarding the money in because now it's the cash grab area, you know.
Be careful.
Yeah, you know. But I think you can keep this alive if you just
pace yourself.
Yeah, just get the games out, but just say, okay, I'll make 1,000. Yeah. But they will do, no, limited edition, we make 2,000. Well, what's limited about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I understand from a business point, because from my business perspective I have myself, it's like, you know, the more money you can get in is right. But at a certain point, you have to be like, okay, when is this becoming a problem?
Yeah.
And I think in the next 2 years, the markets will be flooded with certain games.
Yeah. Well, definitely flooded with certain games. I mean, what's going to end up happening is people who have too much money are going to lose a little bit of it. That's what's going to end up happening. Yeah, so you got all these people like, oh shit, my man cave, yeah, $18,000, I don't care. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then it's like 12. Well, he doesn't care anyway anymore. You know?
Yep.
So maybe the Scotts of the world can pick it up for 6 in like 10 years.
No, it's true, you know, but it's crazy because every collector now is like 5 or 10 machines, and you walk into the game room, it's like 100,000.
Yeah.
You know, everybody can do the math.
Yeah.
So everybody asked me how many games you have. I said this and this. They were like, because they're not looking at how many games you have and what games you have.
Yeah.
In their minds, they're already figuring out what you're worth.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Really?
Trust me.
Okay.
That's the feeling I get, because it's every time, how many games you got? I got like 50 plus or 70 plus. And I'm like, wow.
Well, how long you been doing it?
I've been doing it for like 15 years, but for the last 5 years, I really got into the pinball. Okay. Also from a business perspective. So
if you don't mind me asking, like, what are you make your living in pinball? Are you
no?
Okay.
I still do it. I used to sell exclusive cars. So I fly around the world and I'll get you a car you want, and I'll check it. And so I made my money in that, and then I started working with some pinball companies, and now I'm working also for one pinball company to develop a new game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm a project manager, and I'm fully developing the new game for about a year now.
Am I allowed to know which company, or is that like like, okay? Well, you can at least say as much as you were doing this. You're a project manager.
Of course. No, I work for I now do a project with Pedretti. Mm-hmm. Everybody might know it as the Funhouse 2.0 kits. Mm-hmm. So I'm working in that area. So I do that as a side job because I really love it. So yeah, but it's not my. So I always do the cars. And
okay, so you're still doing cars.
Yeah, I just 2 days ago got back from Dubai. Just getting a car, put it in a container.
What kind of car was it?
It was a Ferrari.
All right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those.
Yes, well, it's
we're not going to talk about it.
No,
if it's coming from Dubai, it's nothing normal.
No, it was a pretty expensive one. Yes,
I bet. Yeah, I used to. I mean, my bread and butter was heavy machinery. So when it like I didn't do anything less than $200,000 a deal, and it was usually like $1 million in a package. And so when I started working for this, I like closed my own company. It just got super stressful, and I didn't want to do it anymore. And the internet screwed everything up, like totally. But basically, so when I went to work for this other company, it was a Dutch company doing sites, like job site security and stuff. And I went out and, I wasn't supposed to do sales. I was the marketing guy, but I wanted to go do sales and see what it's like out on the streets. And I got my first deal for like $8,000. And I'm just like, I don't want to do this. Yeah. But I mean, pinball definitely has like an intrigue to it that's similar to, let's say, a super sport car or something. There's something in the artwork. There's something in the engineering of the light work and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm amazed by the animation of the lights and stuff like that.
I was the same. Is that I was in pinball for a long time, and now I'm in a position that I'm doing a lot of work on building prototypes and doing stuff. Mm-hmm. And when everybody told me, it's really hard doing a pinball machine.
Yeah.
And I have so much respect for people who do this every day, because there were days I was just looking in the mirror like, what the fuck am I doing? Why don't I just do the cars and forget about all this shit? But then if I look at my kids, then my kids grew up with pinball because I have them at home.
Yeah.
And they just enjoy it, They don't care about the rules. They just turn it on and just happy faces, all the lights, and just they hit. It's that's fun.
It's funny you say that because my son's 7. And I've really, like I said, I'm relatively new to this. A buddy of mine has the Star Trek Next Generation always at his place, and it was broken more than it was working. And we finally decided to put money in it and get it going. I got this whole thing going. And so pinball has given me something that I can do with my son. And I came here for the first time. This was the first place he had ever seen a pinball machine, and he was amazed. And that's all he talks about it anymore is he wants to go play pinball. We just did a trip through the States. And in the States, you can still, you know, there's actually bars where you can go have a beer while your kid's playing pinball. So it's actually pretty cool.
That's good.
And, you know, so he's really into pinball. And that's where I started realizing, like, pinball is cool because it doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter what sex you are. It doesn't matter, like, what your mind works like. You know, I was standing next to a guy with Down syndrome the other day when I was in the museum, and he was kicking my ass, like, and it was just like, okay, this is the most inclusive game I've ever seen, ever, and kids definitely love it, and it's and it goes deep with the rules and stuff. It's a little disturbing that the business part of it is actually the one thing that's like making it a little uncomfortable to be around.
Well, yeah, for me, my main issue is that I love that my kids are playing. You know, they're away from their PlayStation, Xbox, or whatever they're playing. Yeah. You know, they're doing something that always teaches them something. But what I think is, and I'm a little bit ashamed of this, is that I have sometimes people coming over at my home and they play the machines, and then they ask, "Oh, that's very nice. How much is it?" And I always lie.
Okay,
I have to do it. Because then they playing like on a Pirates of the Caribbean Collector's Edition that goes for like $30K at the moment. Yeah. How I'm going to say to somebody who's just playing the machine that is going to cost more than the car they have or their life savings, you know? And if you have 10 of those, you know what? So sometimes it's like 2,000 or 3,000. They're like, "Whoa, that's expensive," and I'm like, "Oh, you don't know the truth."
Okay, well let's make some rules. Okay, this is because I was talking to Robin from Pinside a couple minutes ago, and he wouldn't say it even if you asked him, and he would probably be pissed that I'm trying to make an interpretation of it, but he's feeling some of the same shit that you're feeling. Like, it's not the same, and it's not the economy of it. It's the pressure of the cooker that's being like turned up, right? So whatever it is, like whatever's bothering the people that have been around this forever, let's make some rules. Like rules of engagement when you're in this place. And because one of the things that makes this a special community is, I can come and see your collection. You'll invite me in. I can say, I got a 7-year-old kid. I'm looking for a place to play pinball, and I'm in the Netherlands this weekend. Who's up?
Yes,
and there'll be like 10 people. Will be like, yes,
exactly.
Can you? Yep. And so, but if you go to that person's house, don't ask him what his shit costs.
No, it's not like that. But
it is like that. Like, why not talk about the game? Like,
true.
How do I get into the multi-ball?
No, but I have like. Sometimes I have people over, come for dinner, and they bring their kids, and they're playing, and then they ask for something. Okay. Oh, can I buy one? Where can I buy one? And for home, and then I have to lie about it because it's hard to justify to somebody that and somebody gonna hate me for this, like you know, a box of wood with some steel balls is gonna cost more than your new car. Yeah, you know, to justify that,
I don't know. I think people can deal with it.
But for me, I'm always honest, and I just say I say I'm always honest in the way that normally, like I talk about it now, I just feel ashamed when I say it. Yeah. So I just say, it's a couple of thousand.
Yeah. It depends on the day. That would be my answer. It's a volatile market. But anyways, I mean, are you still happy to be a pinball person?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I loved it. I was also a big fan of arcade games. You know, not pinball, but just video games overall. I was really intrigued by that. But then, to me, it feels like sometimes I shift a bit. So sometimes I do this for a few years, and then I get just fed up with pinball, and I just do something else. But I always get back to pinball.
Yeah, that's what drugs are like.
Yeah,
you can.
No, it is.
Once a heroin
and
addict,
to be honest,
always a heroin addict.
On some games, I sell, and sometimes I have more access to some games because I know a few people. But I got to be honest. Sometimes it's easy money flipping.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants a special game. It's not available. Listen.
Why would you not do that? You sell cars, motherfucker. Like, if you see value in something, of course you're going to do it.
That's what I do. So if I can buy 2 Godzillas at my dealer because he likes me, I'll just go like, fuck yeah, I'll buy 2. I'll just flip them for 2,000 more. But if you do that, then, you are the...
No.
But that's what they say. If you
know the history of every machine. You know exactly what's going on. You are different than someone like me who just got onto this 6 months ago. And it's like, oh, look, I think, and then I make the mistake and buy something that's not the right thing or something,
No, but they blame me. If you look at Pinside, if you look at Pinside, people blame people like me as you are bad for the market. You are the reason why pinball is now so expensive. Fuck off. Because I know you do the same when the lights are off. Yeah. You just don't say it. Yeah. And I will.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm on neither side of this argument, but I can understand exactly where you're coming from. And I wouldn't do it any differently, honestly. And I had to agree. I don't think anybody else would, At the end of the day, not everybody's a trader. That's different.
Sure,
you and I have this trader gene, and I'm always seeing it. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be a pinball machine. It can be like this Dyson hair thing that my daughter has for like 900 euros. I'm like, shit, can we get that on eBay? Something?
Yeah, can we get 11 for it? Yeah,
exactly. That's how my brain works. But I can imagine your brain working like that too. So basically, whoever it is that's hating on people like you, stop it, because you guys are basically the people who've kept this thing going for so many years. How long have you been doing this? 15 years? Is that what you just said?
I was in 15 years. I've been in now into it, and for the last, to be honest, for the last 7 or 8 years, because of course my income greatly expanded, of course, for the business I was doing. So it was for me easier to get all the high-end games.
Yeah.
But I also came from a place that I used to buy a Medieval Madness for like 2,000, and I just sold it for 12,000.
Exactly.
And
then but you were actually buying them when they were 2,000.
Yes.
So you are very welcome to sell them for 12,000. I don't care. Listen, I'm new to this, but I know what I'm talking about.
But everybody's like, yeah, but we're 2,000 games. Listen, if somebody today comes to me, listen, I want to for instance, today I want to buy a Godzilla. The game is 15,000. I don't give a shit if you got the game for free from your neighbor.
Yeah.
If the market value is 15,000, I want to pay for it.
Yeah. And I mean, it's the same. It's always the same. I actually listened to a lot of hip hop, and one of the lines that I heard from, I think it's Big Papa or whatever his name is, but basically it was like, players do what they can. No, players do what they want. Haters do what they can. and that's just like complaining and like hating.
The most people that hate or talk about you are always doing less than you.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely
people that are doing better than you. They won't look upon.
No, of course not. Nobody, no, but so I wouldn't worry about that too much. I mean, you're legit. I'm sorry you had all the stress and stuff today. I hope the beer helped a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
if you need somebody to help you carry stuff later on tonight, I'm here. I'll be here all night.
No, I'll be here till tomorrow, so that's fine.
All right. Well, it was good to have you. Maybe this is something you can answer, you can't, but if you could just snap your finger and have like one theme in your collection that doesn't exist, which would it be?
Clown horror.
Like a horror clown or clown?
Yeah, like It or something.
Okay.
You know? Like a that's if I already have it in my mind how it will look like. Like you have it looking out of like the
that's amazing. Yeah.
From the street, when you have like the how would you call it? Where the water goes into the yeah. Like the drainage.
Something drain.
Yeah, like the drainage on the street. He looks out and then he grabs your ball or something, like multi-ball starch or shit like that.
That's cool.
But the problem is, if you look at, because they did Halloween, but Halloween is different than it, Here,
manhole, man cover.
Something like that. So that will be awesome.
Yeah, that's a
really dark horror thing, but they won't do it because they know it won't sell.
Alien's selling, isn't it?
Yes, but Alien is a very big franchise.
Yeah, that's true.
They already tested the market when they done with the highway pass.
Yeah.
So that's already touching base that they know what to work with. But now, if you have to buy the license,
that's true. It's a big license again. They just brought it out a year and a half ago or something. You could have probably picked that up 5 years ago for nothing.
Exactly. If you want to do it now, it's crazy. But
all right, well that's a good idea. Perfect.
Amazing.
Great.
Yep.
All right, man. It was good to meet you. I hope we can do that again sometime. That was
sure.
you've been a different voice than I've heard. All right, man. Talk to you soon.
Thanks.
See ya. Bye.